Hey, everybody. So glad to have you here hanging out with us on Tech Vibe Radio, one mic stand. This is Jonathan Kirsten, of course, with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and Tech Vibe Radio. Today's guest, I'm super pumped about because GrayMatter is one of these companies, you may not have heard of them, but they do some really important work. And the importance of their work is really shining through during this COVID pandemic. I mean, they work with manufacturers and just big organizations that do vital things that cannot go down, and GrayMatter makes sure that they don't go down and they can keep moving forward. I have Jim Gillespie here hanging out with me. Jim, thanks for hanging out and taking some time to fill us in on what GrayMatter's up to. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no, thanks, Jonathan. Great to be here. I love the Tech Council and love the opportunity to chat with you.
Thank you so much. So first off, how are you guys dealing with this? I'm trying to ask everybody we're talking to, because everyone, we're all kind of dealing with the work from home thing. And I know you guys have had a pretty good jump start of that because you do work pretty remotely across different states and countries as GrayMatter goes. But so how is GrayMatter right now as a company just keeping up with the changes that the pandemic has brought on for us?
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. I think we're a little unique, as you mentioned. We have a lot of our team works from home already, and across U.S. and Canada primarily. But as we work with manufacturing companies like you suggested, and critical infrastructure people like water, wastewater, energy, oil and gas, we help them do what we call industrial intelligence, which sometimes is done on site, but you're also able to do a lot of that work remotely. And there's sort of a trend to help those people do things remotely that weren't doing them remotely before. So a little bit of all those things.
So you kind of have a little bit of a head start here, which I guess is probably pretty good. You say remote, and it's like, those are key words in this day and age.
Right. Yeah, we've been able to stay on some of our existing projects and even spin some up that are new, that are remote.
Okay.
And then just like everybody else, we've been making sure our people are safe that are still going to some of those critical locations. Right. And we're switched most of our events to virtual.
Of course.
We do a lot of training classes. And we've been able, we had started an initiative already to do those remotely, distance oriented anyway. So we had most of the work for the content. So we're doing instructor led courses, but doing them, just like we're doing the podcast here.
Very cool. See, that's like, honestly, we've been often been saying, like, if this would have happened like 5 years ago, we didn't quite have the bandwidth to do these types of things online. So it's like, oh, thank God we have this. That's for sure. Right on. For sure. And like I said, I just think GrayMatter is so important because you talked about, you work with these critical industries and infrastructure. Like when the water does not turn on, people are not happy. When the gas doesn't make it to your home or to your car, people are not happy. And so that's why it's like, I think this GrayMatter is like behind the scenes, making sure this stuff happens. So it's like, I'm glad you guys are up and running and doing what you're doing. And working with manufacturers, I think is just such a huge thing. There's been this emphasis on manufacturing again, because people are realizing just the importance of manufacturing. It seems like it's come back to the top again, which I'm so happy about. How is GrayMatter working with manufacturers these days?
Yeah, so we're fortunate. A lot of our customers are in these high demand areas right now. Right. So food, paper products, medical goods, people like Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark that have a lot of demand for the kind of paper products that they make, of course. If you've been to the grocery store lately. And again, also those critical infrastructure things that we talked about. So we're helping them generally do more with less people. So we're helping them with productivity, with quality, stopping downtime of their facilities. And we do that all with industrial data, industrial intelligence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing that's been new during the C-19 time is enabling those people to work from home and giving them better access to the information and the control, but then also making sure that's secure at the same time. And I'll give you one example.
Really?
Our friends at Smucker's make Uncrustable sandwiches among a lot of
those are some of my favorites. But I ride bikes, and those things go with me on my long bike rides. Just saying.
Yeah. So they make 1 billion of those a year already, and their demand is up 40. 46% during the time here.
Wow. That's amazing.
So yeah, it's a lot of demand for the stuff that people are doing, and then a lot of demand for so we've worked with some of our technology and suppliers to work on really getting people enabled to do things remotely that they weren't able to before, and we're running some special promotions to do that. And then
very cool.
Secondly, do that in a secure way. So
absolutely,
sort of an eye towards cybersecurity.
Yeah. I mean, cybersecurity has been just a huge thing now because of all the remote going on. It's obviously providing more opportunities for cyber mischief to go on as far as that is. Maybe can you tell us a little bit more just about like how an employee who's normally at an industrial facility can actually like work from home? Obviously, it's all about being remote. Give us a little more detail on that.
Yeah, I think that the couple of things that we enable, we really work with the operational technology. So it's operating those machines or making sure that they don't go down. So it's given people the sort of the window into those things not being next to them, right? So
exactly.
there's critical people that still have to be there to work, but there's a whole other layer of people that can be extended to support that.
Excellent. And then let's talk about the cybersecurity side of things. Obviously, what are you guys doing in that regards to make sure that as you're providing these remote ways in, that the mischievous types don't take part?
Yeah. So cybersecurity is a big topic in general, as you know, but the part that we focus in on is the cybersecurity as it relates to the operational assets. So
gotcha.
The factories, the plants.
I see.
And I would say in general, there's been a lot more hacking and phishing and ransomware going on under the guise of COVID-19. Even
Definitely.
things like here's a map if you want to see what the trends are, and that's actually a piece of malware, disguised as a map. So there's been a lot of let's say clever stuff going on. So we're enabling people to be vigilant on those operational assets really 4 different ways. It's hardening the connection, so making that connection encrypted and trusted, and really have a kind of a zero trust in and out of those assets. We're setting up ways to monitor bad things going on, and then in some cases we're trying to deceive that malware to attack a fake target.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Very cool.
Yeah, and then the last thing is making sure people have disaster recovery set up in case something bad does go happen. So those are sort of the 4 tenets of it.
Those are some nice layers you got going on there as far as that goes. So Jimmy, in your tenure of running GrayMatter, I would assume, has this been probably one of the most trying moments for you as a leader, taking your company and guiding it through all this?
Yeah, and I think it really has been, because you don't know sort of the end, when the end is in sight.
Yeah.
And I saw something the other day about Admiral Stockdale being in the POW camp, and it's in the Jim Collins Good to Great book, talking about the Stockdale paradox. And we know we're going to prevail in the end. We just don't know when the end is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I make it to the end.
Right. Yeah, but I think just like probably everybody that you're talking to, we think about 9/11, we think about the 09, 08 downturn. There's even the right after Y2K, all of those things were contractions, really strong contractions, but this is really uncharted waters, as you know. Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. But the one thing that I know is I'm glad GrayMatter's around, because you're keeping our systems up. But more importantly, you're keeping Smuckers up. That's important to me. I love the Uncrustables. Come on. That's cycling food at its best. It's contained as far as that goes. I really can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us today. I want people to learn more about GrayMatter and how they can use your services. To go to your website, and I'll be in the liner notes here. And once again, thanks for taking the time. Good luck moving these things forward. And we're glad you're in Pittsburgh doing what you're doing, man. Simple as that.
Yeah, and thanks to you and the Tech Council and Audrey for all of what you do and being a catalyst for supporting the tech community in Pittsburgh. We appreciate you.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that.